This is the final 10 minutes of Lecture 18, Receiving Jesus Christ. The first portion of this lecture can be found on disc 15.
Found many writings of Jesus among the manuscripts which read as though Jesus had never had a human side to his existence. Nothing is said of his birth. Nothing is said of his usual training, his form, voice, or physical characteristics. In these old manuscripts, he is put in the same category as the Master K.H. or Manuel. Whenever these ancients speak of seeing Jesus, they intimate that it was with their own sight, and when they spoke of hearing him, it was in a psychic or higher spiritual manner. Not one of them had an interest in the human side of his existence, and some of them did not even acknowledge it. We can see, therefore, that Jesus was looked upon by them as someone entirely different from the personality presented by the present-day Christian faith. The greatness of the reality of a great and heavenly being even outshines that as represented by the Roman Church. Yes.
When you use the word human, is this a designation of someone at our cosmic vibration on this level, or the Father? How is the big stepped up and we still be considered human?
Let me ask you a question. Have you had the door, the veil rent, and realized yourself? Later?
Well, I have. I said I haven't seen it.
Have you used it?
I thought I was using it for long.
If you've used it at all, you're no longer human. Because you've gone beyond the veil, haven't you? To a certain extent.
Well, I don't feel very good, and that's why I asked.
How do you know what humans feel like?
Well, I don't. That's why I asked you. I really don't know that much about it. It would soon go.
Can't you remember what it is to feel like he'd be human?
I suppose so. But in thinking in that way, I think more of an animalistic nature.
What's wrong with that?
Well, nothing's wrong with it. I'm not saying anything is right or wrong with it. I'm just saying it is.
Now, what is the difference between the two?
I don't know what you mean.
Between the present existing feeling you have and the one you had before.
There are a number of things. One is not, perhaps not human, any longer confined to physical earth, so to speak.
Then you're no longer dependent on the animal, are you? And if you have full command, you are master of the animal, aren't you? Right? Self-master. Right? Then you're not human, are you?
Well, then that then brings up the question that I originally had in my mind, that I had to ask of my own case. If the Christ, or let's say when the Christ, entered into Jesus, and he became, or started his mission to become Jesus Christ, then it would appear as though his physical body would have had to attain such a high rate of vibration to be able to stand it.
That's right.
No longer human at that point.
Okay. But you must remember one thing. There is no mention about the fact that he was Christ, Jesus, when he was born. He was Jesus. Huh? Even the Bible defines it. But there is a place where he was baptized and something happened. Right. Understand what I mean? Oh, it's getting late, gentlemen. We're at 10. I hope I've got some of these things home. I know I don't expect to get them home in their entirety, but to give you some idea of the reality and the greatness of our Lord and Master. The greatness, the exalted divinity of this magnificent being. This is the important thing. And yet he said, of all these things which I do, so will you also, and even greater than this. He wanted to bring to us great reality. And we see all through the miracles in the Testament, or even just a woman touched the hem of his garment, she was healed. Can you, with this in mind, imagine in just a moment of this being, what he sacrificed when he confined himself into the fleshy body of a little child? Followed this way for the 33 years that he was on earth. Now, he didn't take on this until he was quite well along. But that vehicle had to be prepared. He had to be gotten ready. He had to be evolved to the point where he could do this. And so when it extended, this is something worth meditating, because it will give you a sure feeling of the greatness of our Lord Jesus. And his encompassing of the earth. Just that free meditation. And learn what this really